Greetings, my people. It's Mr. PDT yet again on another episode of the Enlightenment series. Like I always say, my people, you cannot put a crown on a clown and expect a king. Same applies, you cannot put a title on a vagabond or on a charlatan and expect the anointing of God to be present or the gift of the prophetic to manifest. I want you to listen to this charlatan, this baby charlatan from Zambia. He had to say something about the elections as well, post the entire process. Listen to his rantings.
As I told you, the favor and the grace of God has moved out from Nigeria. This is why you saw many Nigerian prophets, or if I can say all Nigerian prophets, they failed to see who is winning the elections in their own country, because they all prophesied saying it is the opposition winning. But God spoke to me saying the ruling will be declared the winner. This is the reason why I said it's not a good year for Nigerians, because they shall protest. There will be a lot of confusions which shall come in that nation of Nigeria.
Okay, wait a minute. This baby charlatan or this clown claims that the grace of God has left Nigeria because all Nigerian prophets failed to prophesy accurately about the incoming president or about the outcome of the previous elections. And he says all this in a place whereby he's trying to convince his gullible followers that it's God who revealed that revelation to him, that my grace has departed from Nigeria and now it's roaming somewhere else around Africa. The grace of God is still in Nigeria. It has just not yet located the right man to be used as the ambassadors of Christ. I want you to listen again to some of the nonsense that he said.
I said something, say this year is not a good year for Zambia and Nigeria. A lot of people, they were celebrating in Nigeria, thinking the opposition will win those elections. But some of us who saw it in the spirit, we knew, say, it is not a good year for them, because their expectation is not what will come out. Viewers all over the world, prophets will speak when God has told us to speak. As I told you, the favor and the grace of God has moved out from Nigeria.
You see, these vagabonds, they are always looking, they are forever waiting for an opportunity for them to ride on. They are forever waiting for a window of opportunity to open so that they can exhibit their foolishness. In this case of Nigeria, now this one is saying those who were chosen by God had seen the truth about the outcome of the election. I had seen that the ruling party was going to win. So that means I'm the only one that is hearing from God. My people, sometimes I wonder, the people that follow these charlatans, these baby charlatans or these vagabonds, what is it that you really see in these useless human beings? These are mere dropouts. You can tell just by observation that there's no way the anointing of God can reside in these elements of darkness. I know God can choose anyone. God doesn't discriminate. We are all equal at the foot of the cross. Before God, we are all equal. But once the Spirit of the Lord fills you up, you start glowing, It starts becoming visible that this person is being used by God without you having to say anything about you being used by God. But God, the Spirit of God does not reside in these ones. If just by just a mere observation, you can tell these ones are young boys who are suffering in life. These are young boys who dropped out of school. These are young boys who are now trading on this lane of fooling gullibles, using God as a proxy, lying to people that they are hearing from God. Because Christianity now and the prophetic is big business. They come bearing all this, anointing as they claim. They come claiming to be who they are not, just so that they can make people believe in them, as they represent themselves as ambassadors of Christ, as intermediaries between humankind and the divine. But my people, if you look at this man, is there any sign that God, the Spirit of God, is possessing or residing in this man? I want you to listen again to the useless prophecies that he added on to this one of Nigeria about a plane crash in Africa, misleading the masses and creating panic. And I wish if HH can deal with these vagabonds. I don't know what he is waiting for. It's long overdue. He should deal with these parasites and make sure Zambia is cleansed of all these criminals. He should build high walls that protect Zambians from these charlatans, from these native doctors and ritualists and these criminals. These are con artists of the highest order. Listen to his plane crash prophecy.
God showed me an African plane. An African plane had to crash. It crashed. And people were mourning their beloved ones who were boarding on that flight. I know the country, but it's so sensitive because in that plane, there will be even some people who are more or who are having sensitive position in the society. This plane crash, it will be a plane which shall be trending on all social medias, because the way it will happen, it will be a disaster. This is Africa. Africa. This is in Africa. I'm saying Africa. The plane will crash in Africa. This plane will crash in Africa. And many will mourn. It is too close to happen. Very close to happen. God showed me this, and I'm about to pray about it and see the mercy of God, how things will be.
It's just listen how vague the prophecy is. There will be a plane crash in Africa, and in the plane there will be some people who are bearing controversial titles, big titles. Give us specifics if you have seen or if you have heard from God. Tell us it's Malawi Airways. Tell us it's Kenyan Airways. Tell us the exact details when all this is going to happen. The reason why they give all these useless and false prophecies, they just want you, my people, to be in panic, to always be afraid, or to feel like they have a special place in the realms of the spirit, to feel like they are hearing something, divine from God, to make you feel like they bear a message for your future. That's just what they're just trying to portray to the general public or to believers out there. But I tell you, my people, these men are not hearing anything from anyone. They do not have or possess that spiritual inclination that could aid them to have any revelation about the future or about your life. They do not have that capacity to know what's going to happen tomorrow. They don't. They don't see nothing at all, my people. Nothing. Oh, you are too carnal. You never understand things of the spirit. That's what they say. But of all the things that these vagabonds have said, tell me some of the things that have manifested. Go back in the history of all your major prophets. Some of you used to believe so much in TB Joshua. How many prophecies did he give that were wrong, totally wrong? And God has been giving you signs all along that these people are not for me. These are not my servants. These are con artists who are just basing their prophecies on information that they probably heard via grapevine or through analysts. So be warned, my people, and stay far away from these vagabonds. They don't hear nothing. Mark them and avoid them. It's Mr. PDT. I'll check you out on the next episode of the Enlightenment series. And the grace of God is still in Nigeria, I believe, not just in the churches. I'm out.